morning everyone. Hopefully everyone can hear me this morning. Thanks to Aaron Finch for joining us ahead of the first of 3 T20 internationals here at here in Nagpur tomorrow night, and then in India over the next couple of days.
We're in Mohali tonight.
Mohali, sorry. My apologies. If you have a question, guys, please raise your hand. We'll try to get to everyone as best we can through the course of this, and cameras and microphones off until you come to such a time as you have a question. So we'll kick it off there, and we'll start off with Vishesh Roy.
Hi Aaron, welcome to India. Best of
you.
luck for the series.
Thank you.
There has been a lot of talk surrounding your own form. So how do you ensure that you keep the outside noise and you prepare to the best of your ability?
I think over a long period of time you get pretty comfortable with criticism and stuff like that. But in T20 cricket, I feel as though my form's been really good for quite a while now. I think if you separate the ODI form and the T20 form, then they're totally different. They're two different formats of the game. So yeah, we're just really excited to be here and kick off this 3-game series tomorrow.
Just another one from me. How do you see the role of Steve Smith heading into the World Cup? Earlier on, there was a Mr. Fix-It tag associated with him. So have you gotten rid of it now?
Yeah, he's free to play however he sees the situation from game to game. Most likely he'll bat at 3 in this series with Mitch Marsh being out. So we know the quality that Steve's got. He's one of the best players that has ever played the game over all formats of the game. So we know the skill that he's got and the game sense and the tactical nous that he's got. So we're really confident that regardless of what role he has to play within the structure of the squad, that he can do that very, very well.
Thanks and best of luck for the series.
Thanks, mate.
Chloe.
Hey Finchy, I guess there's been a lot of buzz around Tim David since he was announced in the squad. I wondered, have you finalised, is the 11 finalised for tomorrow yet, and is he in it?
We haven't finalised it just yet. We're going to wait until we see the wicket today at the ground, but Tim's been super impressive for a long period of time in T20 cricket now. He's someone who we know has got the power, obviously. He's shown that all around the world wherever he's played. The fact that he's come into the squad with such a great attitude, he's been training brilliantly, has been outstanding. He's a really good all-round package with his ability to bowl a few overs, very good in the field. So, yeah, we're excited what he brings to this squad.
Aritra.
Thanks Finchy, good luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, Chloe. Aritra.
Yeah, hi Finch, hi, morning. Yeah, so Aaron, last night I was watching Australia's practice in which you, Steve Smith and all were batting, and you guys were consciously playing a lot of sweeps, reverse sweeps and lap shots. Was it keeping the Indian conditions and tackling the Indian spinners in mind, or was it just general, you were just improvising?
I think in these conditions, you're always got to be looking to improve, and I think the strength of this squad is everyone's ability to continue to learn and grow. I think we've seen over the last 10 years how much the game has developed, and you just, as a player personally, you have to keep looking for ways to improve and ways to stay ahead of the competition, or just ways to improvise to provide you with some more options out on the field. So it's nothing that we've talked about as a group or anything like that. It was just literally guys practicing for what they may face. I think if you're never going to go into a game and play shots or do something that you don't practice. So it's just about trying to provide some more options, and no doubt some guys will be that'll be some shots that guys have been trying to add into their game for quite a while. So there's nothing to read into that, to be honest.
Right, thanks.
Subaya.
Yeah, hi Aaron, good morning. Aaron, how are you? How impressed are you with Cameron Green, and what role are you seeing for him till the T20 World Cup now?
Yeah, Cameron's been really impressive. I think from when he first came into first-class cricket, I think he took 5 wickets on debut. For WA, he got a great 80 against Victoria in his second game. So every level that he's played, he's continued to improve. And the thing I love most about him is how quick he adapts and how quick he learns from very minimal mistakes that he makes. But he's someone who continues to grow his game with bat and ball. So he's been super impressive. we'll sit down at the end of training today and go through what the squad may look like for tomorrow and what roles guys play. But he's been really versatile as well. I think his ability to bat at number 5, 6, 7 in the one-day team has been really impressive, and the fact that such a young guy was able to guide us home in a really tricky run chase in a great partnership with Alex Carey in the recent series against New Zealand shows that he's got all the tricks and the game sense for such a young guy to be super successful in all 3 formats for Australia. But he's just such a great kid, someone who continues to impress with everything that he does.
Aaron, I have another one. Recently, we just saw Virat Kohli break his 3-year end and get to his 71st century. Now that he has, had his monkey back of his, now do you think he will be more dangerous going into the World Cup?
You would be a very, very brave man to write off Virat at any stage. He's shown for 15 years now that he is one of the greatest players of all time, and particularly in T20 cricket, he's someone who has developed his game and grown his game over such a long period. You always plan and prepare as best you can when you're coming up against Virat. He's super, and like 71 international hundreds. That's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks.
Jack Painter.
Hey, Finchy. Conditions in India obviously a lot different to what you'll face in the World Cup. Will you use that sort of in selection and sort of pick a team's conditions, or will you sort of focus on the method you're going to employ in the World Cup?
I think there'll be a little bit of both, mate. Every decision that we make, I think, has one eye towards the World Cup, and seeing the wicket yesterday looked like there was quite a bit of grass on it, and we know in Mohali the ball can swing around and it can carry through quite a bit. So I think we'll be mindful of not being too narrow-minded in terms of our focus just forward. What we'll do is, what we've tried to do over the last sort of 6, 8, 10 months is make sure that everything that we're doing in the T20 space ties back into the World Cup. And for us, it's about making sure that once we get there, that we've had plenty of different combinations of teams that we can play, because the last thing you want to do is have an injury derail your whole campaign because you're pigeonholed into playing one style of cricket or one structure of teams. So there'll be a little bit of mixing and matching, but still with that one eye towards the World Cup to make sure that we're still as rounded as we can be as a squad.
Andrew Menzel.
Hi, Aaron. Just wondering, if you reflected much on the fact that this could maybe your last tour as part of the Australian side, and if that's quite significant for you.
No, I haven't thought about that, to be honest. No, actually, I just haven't thought about it whatsoever. I've loved every bit of playing cricket for Australia, and to have finished up in one-day cricket. Obviously, we've got a few overseas tours. The team's got a few overseas tours in the one-day game next year. So, never know. I'm not putting an end date on anything T20 related just yet. So, yeah, it's still exciting. I love touring this country. I love touring with the Australian team. I think what has made this squad so good over a long period of time is how close everyone is, the connection that everyone's got as well. So to be able to feel that and enjoy that and embrace each and every tour for what it is, not just looking long term, it's pretty special.
Thank you.
Debasis.
Morning, Skipper. Do you see Australia as the favourites, as the defending champions, playing at home with the T20 World Cup little under a month? And how do you see India as a competitor? Obviously, they haven't done well as far as bigger tournaments is concerned in recent times.
I think you could look down the team list for every team, and you could make a case for every team being favourite. I think being in our home conditions, I don't think adds any pressure, because every time you walk out and you represent Australia, you feel that pressure and you feel that excitement and nerves to represent your country really well and do as well as you can. And playing at home and defending champions, I guess there's a level of expectation there, but we'll try not to think about that. I think all that you can do is focus on what you do well and plan and prepare for the opposition as best you can. But if you continue to follow the process and be really comfortable with the process that the team is on, then I think that you can take the result out of it, and that can take the anxiety of performance out of it as well. So it's about each and every person just having the maximum impact that they can on a game. So that's all we focus on. And in terms of India, they've got some of the best players in the world, some of the best players of all time in the shorter formats of the game. So again, like I said about Virat, you'd be very, very brave to write off an Indian team. They've got the ability to win a game from everywhere. They've got all bases covered in terms of their batting, pace bowling, spin bowling. They're a great team in the field. So maybe the Australian conditions will suit them better than some other conditions. So I think it's a very, very wide open World Cup.
Justin Chadwick.
Yeah, good day, Finch. You touched on earlier that your form in T20 ranks has been pretty good. Just mentally entering games, how different is it for you going into a 2020 game compared to the ODIs where things just weren't working for you?
Yeah, it is a little bit different. Obviously looking to be a bit more aggressive and take a few more risks up front and balance that out with your normal process. But I mean, you just have to go in really clear-minded, and I think the difference between T20 and ODIs is you're expected, but you're also prepared to take a decent amount of risk earlier in your innings than what you would like. And we faced some really challenging conditions over the last little while in ODI cricket, and I think that the wicket will provide some challenges here in Mohali as well. There'll be some seam, and I assume, and some swing unless they cut the grass right back on the strip, and there's plenty of carry here as well. So it's about being just clear-minded and working with what I know has been successful in the past, and sort of going back to basics in that regard of anything technical, anything setup related. But mindset, it's just as clear as you can be and watch the ball. I think at times you can get a little bit caught up in trying to either hit the ball too hard or trying to shut down a part of the ground because you're thinking about taking a risk in a certain area, and you might try and force it a bit. So it's just about reacting rather than premeditating or anything like that.
Yeah, cool, thanks for that.
Cheers.
Last one here, folks. Bharat.
Thanks, Paul. Here, just how much can you read into your build-up to the World Cup last year, Aaron, where things didn't look too bright and then it worked out once you got there? So have you got to a similar point now where this close to the World Cup results maybe don't matter as much?
Oh, you'd always love to go in with a heap of confidence and wins behind you, but I think the similar things with last time is that the closer we got to the World Cup, the more narrowed our focus became and more structured we came with the way that we knew as a team that we wanted to play. I think there's times when there's times for experimenting and stuff like that, but the closer you get, the more I guess precise you are with your selections. I'm not saying that you're not all the time, but playing the conditions, playing the opposition, and it's World Cups are really challenging because the amount of you're playing a different team every game, so the level of preparation and planning that goes into it, a lot of that can be done a long time before the tournament. So you've got a really clear outline of what it may look like if the opposition structure up the same, or if everyone's fit and available for your team. So a lot of that is done in the background a long way out from the World Cup, and then as you get closer it becomes a lot more clearer because you understand exactly how your team's functioning. It might be with 7 batters, 6 batters, whatever that looks like, 8 batters at times that we've gone with. So you just get clearer on what your best combination is going to be for that opposition, and it does take a lot more planning and preparation because there is a different team every game. I think when you play just a general bilateral series, you'll tend to do all your planning and preparation before the first game on every player. You'll have your meetings as batting and bowling groups, as spin groups. So then you're able to, once the series starts, then that's really quick, and you're reviewing a game and you're looking forward about things that you can tinker. But you've got to do that whole process over and over again every time for a World Cup, which is really exciting. That's a part of the game and a part of captaincy that I absolutely love. So That's all good fun.
Sorry, Cole, if I could just slip another quick one in, a quick question in, I should say. Just about Tim David, we don't know how he's going to go in international cricket, but when you have someone with a serial six-hitting a reputation, does the batting approach kind of change a bit so that you want him to give him more time in the middle?
No, I think it just comes down to Tim playing the situation and having the awareness that he's shown over a long period of time now. I think for him to do what he's done in the Big Bash is fantastic. For him to go to the PSL and have a huge impact, batting a little bit higher in the order at number 4 was huge for him. And then on the back of a really great ending in the IPL where he showed his class, to me that shows that he's got the game to be really successful in international cricket, and for somebody to walk into international cricket having played quite a bit of franchise T20 around the world, that gives you so much experience as well, and being an international, being an overseas player has its challenges at times because the expectation is really high. So the fact that Tim has experienced that all around the world already is I think that prepares you as well as you can for international cricket. So we're not going to ask him to do anything that he's never done before. We back his skill set, we back what he brings to the table, and we back that his best is well and truly good enough for international cricket.
Thanks, Brad, and thanks to Aaron Finch for joining us on the eve of the first T20 match here in tomorrow night.
Thanks guys.